All right, tonight, boy, everybody's still talking about this. A 10-ton meteor that explodes over Russia, causing some, look at the damage there it caused. Hundreds and hundreds of injuries. Look at that, setting off car alarms there. Those shock waves that were sent from a sonic boom actually hit again and again and again. It smashed windows, damaged hundreds of buildings, knocked out phone service. The impact site is only about 900 miles from Moscow. Nearly 1,000 people were hurt here. Flying glass, of course. 100 people had to be hospitalized, but nobody was killed, we understand. This afternoon, the scheduled main event, though, an asteroid coming closer to Earth than a lot of the satellites we rely on actually every day. It was the closest that an asteroid has flown by in recorded history, 17,000 miles. NASA says it never really posed a threat to us.
Over the last 20 years, NASA's gotten an array of telescopes, both on the ground and in space, that is starting to observe these objects. And so consequently, we do find the ones that are flying by close to the Earth.
Talking with Derek Demeter from Seminole State College Planetarium. Derek, quite a day for those who gaze at the stars. How did we know an asteroid was going to come that was going to miss us, but we didn't know about the one that was going to hit us in Russia?
It has to do with brightness. A lot of these really tiny rocks that come from space are just so dim that in order, we can't really see them until they actually hit us in our atmosphere.
And we're not looking at all of the sky at the same time, right? I mean, there's so much of the sky. How much can we really look at?
Well, yeah, there's so much. Yeah, the sky's huge, and we're constantly surveying the sky all the time. But it's all about brightness. That's what matters the most when it comes to dealing with rocks from space.
Don't we talk about these things maybe hitting every 1,200 years or whatever, and yet we got sideswiped twice in one day?
Well, believe it or not, the last time we've had a meteor hit the atmosphere like that was back in 2008 in the Sudan in Africa.
Like that, though? I remember that.
It created a pretty big burst of light. Yeah,
Did
but it was much more unpopulated then, so we didn't get a lot of those really nice dash cam recordings that you see in Russia and all that. So.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people are wondering, are these somehow related? But space is so big, it's kind of like saying, oh, you're from Russia? Do you know my friend such and such,
Well, the physics just doesn't allow for it. We found out by looking at the trajectories of both the meteor and the asteroid. They came from two different directions and two different orbits, and it just doesn't pan out for that.
You know what I found amazing is that the thing would go through, would brighten up, and then people had time to walk out, videotape, and then all of a sudden, that's when the sonic boom started hitting.
Yep, speed of sound. It works with it. It went faster than the speed of sound, so it takes a while for that sound wave or that blast wave to travel to them. So something that's miles and miles and miles away eventually has to reach them at a certain point. So you can see it, but...
And there were multiple ones, too. It's like the space shuttle, there are two sonic booms that happen, the front end and the back, and this one had several.
Yeah, as the meteorite actually crashed into or essentially rubbed against the atmosphere of the Earth, it actually scattered and broke apart, and we actually hear that with the booms, multiple pieces. So that's where we get the different sonic booms.
Do you know where it eventually landed? I heard something about an ice lake or something.
It's very possible. Right now there's confirmation it most likely hit a lake a little bit south or west of the city. So right now they found this frozen lake with this big hole in it. So they're thinking that possibly it was the case. And with the satellite data too, they're seeing various different evidence that possibly that was where the space debris came and hit the Earth.
A frozen lake in Russia with a big hole in it. Either a meteor hit there or there's good fishing, folks. Derek, good talking to you.
Thank you.
And you know what, with all of this space debris that's flying around, a lot of people are wondering, what's the difference between an asteroid and a meteor? Well, an asteroid, it's a small rock orbiting the sun, obviously. Large numbers of these asteroids out there, in size nearly, 600 miles across, to just dust particles. But a meteor is a small body of matter from outer space that actually enters the Earth's atmosphere, appearing, as you saw, as a streak of light. The meteorite, that's the meteor that, well, what's left. It survives to travel through the atmosphere, and then it's stuck on the ground, such as, the part that they found eventually that hit the ground and went right into that lake. That's basically it.
Yeah,
you knew that.
I did know that.
I know you knew.
But what's interesting about meteors is that how expensive they are. Because I'll tell you, oh yeah, they'll go out and they're worth like several times more than the price of gold. So if you find little pieces of a real meteorite, it can be worth thousands upon thousands of dollars. So I'm sure they're all going to be scavenging that area in the weeks and months ahead.
And they're very dangerous to Superman. We know that too, as well.
Yes, they are. You got to be careful about that. Our forecast.